back to Il Salotto di Miss Flapper. This is our very first interview in English. We are really, really excited because for our first English episode, we picked, and we really hoped she would say yes, because we don't force anyone to come on the interviews, one of our very first brand ambassadors for Miss Flapper. This is an amazing woman. She has got style to sell, and she mixes and matches prints and textures. Her sense of fashion is something we just adore at Miss Flapper. And she was one of our very, very first brand ambassadors, but also she lives very far away because she is from Australia. And she is everything we stand for. She stands for body positive, age positive. She believes you can dress however you want, no matter your age, your size, your shape. And we love her for that. We love her for so many other reasons, but we love her for that too. As you know, we kind of let our guests say hello by themselves. So I give you Suzanne. Welcome.
Thank you, Francesca, and thank you everyone for listening in. My name's Suzanne. I'm an image consultant or stylist, and I'm also a fashion Feng Shui facilitator now as well. As you just heard, I live in Melbourne, Australia, which is a very long way away from Europe, but it's one of my favourite places to go. Who knows when we will be allowed to get back there. I've had my own business here in Melbourne now for 20 years. I dress both men and women, primarily women. And the way I describe it to people is I just teach them to find out who they really are inside, who they are at their very essence, and bring that out, and so that they can be the very best version of themselves, and they feel very authentic and beautiful in their clothes. So yeah, that's me.
I love that. I absolutely love that. And you also rework a lot of your clothes, isn't it, on your Instagram account, which, by the way, is amazing, and you should really go check her out. I've seen so many ways you rework old things you have, your husband's shirts. I love those bits when you redo your husband's shirts. Are you self-taught, or did you learn in school, or did you do courses?
I learned to sew at school, but I didn't really enjoy it at school. I think in hindsight, because they made you sew the same things as everybody else, and I don't want to look like everybody else, so I found it quite boring. So all my friends from school think it's very funny that I sew my clothes now, and I do what I'm doing, given that somebody else's mother did my homework. So I was taught at school. I did then when I left school and, was a late teenager in my 20s and things, used to make a lot of my own clothes. Then I sewed nothing for years. And then, I think probably about 4 years ago now, one of my friends who is a designer said to me, you should be making your own clothes because you've got a really good eye for patterns and all the rest of it. So I said, I don't even know if I can remember. I'm 58 now. I don't even know if I can remember how to sew. And so I went to the cloth shop and had sewing lessons there. And I still go there. So it's like a community. And I go, well, when we're allowed to, when we're not in lockdown, once a week. And we just sew. So, yeah, and there's lots of people come in and teach different classes, and yeah, it's just a beautiful environment. So that's where
that's absolutely beautiful. I absolutely love it. I am part of a Viking reenactment community, and as part of the reenactment we have to make our own our own clothes. And I was never taught how to sew in school. We don't do it anymore in Italy. I don't even think they do it in the UK unless you actually pick it.
Mm.
And the very first kit we had to make, I had to hand sew, which took like forever. So yeah, after that we decided definitely sewing lessons are in order. Because like for all the turbans and all the things, I have Miss Flapper, so I don't have to do anything. I just say, oh, this is pretty, and she makes it for me.
Oh, that's lucky. That's lucky.
I
I go to sewing classes, and poor Kim, my teacher, she says, I say, now I've got this pattern and I've got this fabric, but I've got a really good idea. Why don't we do, instead of putting seams in, we'll put zips in, and we'll do this. And then she's like, ah. Then she's like, okay, let me work out how we're going to do that. Okay.
Well, I think it's brilliant, and I think like I have never seen your photos and thought, oh, I don't really like that. I mean, there may be things that I think wouldn't suit me, but I've never thought I didn't like it, and it's, for me, that is really uncommon, let's say that.
Oh. Thank you.
So, it's really the truth. We absolutely love you. So you've told us about you, and now, so Il Salotto di Miss Flapper is just on Miss Flapper's couch. This is what it means in English, and we want to know secrets. So now we ask you something that no one knows about you.
Okay. Something no one know, or something that people wouldn't expect from me or know about me, would probably be that although I'm an image consultant and stylist, and part of my job is taking people shopping and dressing them, and you've got to try everything on and all the rest of it, and I'm very good with all of that, unless it's me in the shop shopping for me. Then I don't do anything I'm supposed to do. So that's when I'll be trying on a skirt, and I'll pull it on over the top of my pants and go, oh, yep, that's okay. Yep, that's close enough. That'll do. So I'm really bad at doing what I'm supposed to do for myself, which has led to when I get things home and I think, oh, yes, that works. But then when I've tried it on over pants and everything else, then when I get it home, it's too big. And so then I've got to go and get it altered or swap it over or something because I was too, So I should do more of do as I say.
Yeah, but I suppose that comes with the job, isn't it? It's I think we're all like this. I think as you know, with Miss Flapper, I am the marketing and the commercial part of the business, and I help people with their business. So I am a business consultant. I like to call myself a business fairy. And when I talk to my clients, I go, because you have to update your business plan every 3 months, and you have to do this, and you have to do that. And then I never do it for myself. I do it. I just don't do it as often as I tell them they should, or I don't do it as well as I tell them they should, because I think you do it every day for others. So it is what it is, isn't it? After a bit, you just go, yeah, that will do.
And there's another secret. I don't have a business plan.
That's the big revelation here. So but that's no, many people don't have a business plan in reality. So this brings us to our next thing, which is And I'm sure you have plenty of these. We ask our clients if there is any specific funny moments about their jobs that they want to share with us, something fun that happened to you while you were working, to you or your clients, obviously. We keep names out.
Now that's a tricky one because I don't know. Fun. I think I have the fun comes into me when I'm with my clients, when I make them put things on that they go, oh, do you think so? And I go, yeah, just humour me. Just put it on and we'll just have a look. And if you don't like it, you're not going to buy it, because I have rules. You've got to love it madly, need it badly, or you put it back.
Yeah.
So when I buy anything, that if my client says, oh, yeah, that's okay, that will do. No, it's not coming home. No, that's not a good enough reason. So they've got to love it. So I go, no, just humour me, just put it on. And then they come out and they love it. And I'm, oh, look at me. And I go, oh, it's so beautiful. And I think that's what I love. That's the fun part to me, the joy they get when they see themselves through different eyes and see the person that they can be. Yeah. That's the most fun.
For a very, very short period of my life, I used to be a shopping consultant in Milan, and I used to take, so I was part of an agency. The agency would organize the event, and the event was usually like doctors or other people coming to Milan for training, and they would bring their wives. And I was in charge of the wives, and we'd go shopping. And some of them, I didn't have many of these moments you're describing, but a couple I did. And when they actually come out, they look like different people, don't they? When they discovered that that thing was actually made for them, and they entered the changing room thinking, this is not really my thing, is it? I'm gonna try it on just because you're pushing, but they kind of change, don't they? They come out and they're a different person. I really like that. I think though you must have a very good eye, and I mean, obviously I don't see your clients on your Instagram feed, but I see you when so many things. Sometimes I think I would never have put these two things together, but they work really well. So you must have a very visionary eye when and to apply to other people who are not you. I think that's a very, very great skill. Because it's a difficult thing. How did you discover you could do it?
It's funny because I think I've always done it, but then it was turning it into a job. But it's funny because people will often think, oh my goodness, no, I don't know. Like I can be too much. So I try to dress down when I'm meeting someone for the first time. And then by the time I know them, I can just be me. But they understand that I'm not turning them into a version of me. We're finding out who they are. So some people don't want to do pattern at all, and that's perfectly fine. Other people want to try a little bit, and I had a lady today and I did her wardrobe, and we just mixed a couple of patterns together from her existing clothes, and she was so happy. And she said, I don't think I need to really go shopping now. I just need to do a few things because I've got so many more outfits from what we've done.
Yeah.
And that makes me so happy. But they're not necessarily things that I would wear, but they're things that she wears, and she's really happy doing that. And that's what it's all about.
Amazing. Really nice. This takes us to the question that scares our guests the most. Which is what we call the Marzullo moment. So in Italy, we have a journalist and TV presenter called Gigi Marzullo, and he always asks this question to his guests. And this question is, ask yourself a question and give yourself an answer. So I'll leave it to you.
Okay, so the question I thought I'd ask myself was, first of all, we had in Melbourne, Australia, we had last year 7 months of pretty strict lockdown, and we weren't allowed out for 2 hours a day, and we had to stay within 5 kilometres of home and blah, blah, similar to what you're going through in the UK now. And so the question that I'm asking myself is, what was the most productive thing that I did during lockdown? Because if you haven't noticed, I am an extrovert, so I found lockdown very difficult. And my husband's an introvert, so he got sick of me wanting to hug him all the time. So I had to go and find something else to do that was productive. So I studied fashion Feng Shui. And so that took, and I did that via Zoom. And so now I'm a qualified facilitator. And I absolutely, I love it so much. It's better than anything that I've ever done. I love that every person that I've done it with since, in this 3 months that I've been qualified,
yeah,
they all say to me, oh my God, this is life-changing. This is really me. And it's not just, it's the way you dress, but it's your whole life. You know, it goes through your whole life.
Tell us how it works a little bit more, because obviously everyone knows, I think, or has heard of the technique, but always around the house, isn't it? It's a thing that came out in the late 90s and everyone was talking about it, but around the house more than for anything else. So how should you position your furniture? But I had, I don't know anything about it applied to fashion.
No, it's really interesting. So it's actually dates back centuries, and it's an Asian, I think, it's an Asian custom, and they believe that everything has an energy and everything comes from these 5 elements. So we've got, now I'll probably muck all of this up. We've got water, wood, fire, earth, and metal, and everything fits into one of those elements. And there's a book written by the lady, so she's the lady that actually did fashion Feng Shui, Ivana Magador. But if anybody contacts me, I can put you in touch with her. Anyway, she was the lady that came up. She was based in the States. She has passed away, but she came up with the idea that if we're Feng Shuiing our house and our office building to get the right energy in and create the what we want, then why wouldn't we be doing that to our wardrobes and to our clothes? Because this is the most intimate part of us, is what we wear and how we feel in our clothes. And it's funny because, as I said, everybody I've done it to it's blown them away, because they just go, that just explains so much why we can put you in something, you can be wearing something and you just go, yeah, I know it looks good. I know everybody thinks I look great in this, it fits perfectly, but I don't feel right.
Yeah.
You know, and it's because the energy about it is wrong. So, yeah, so that's the thing that I'm loving most. And that was the thing that the most productive thing I did.
Fantastic. I really like that. I think it's easy to lose motivation and to lose drive when we're stuck in the house for so long. I know for a fact that we have been in lockdown since the 30th of December, and some days I honestly think I'm losing my mind. No, I think, and despite me being I am at work, I work through Zoom, so I can do it. And but still, I think it's really important that you found a way to keep yourself so productive, and it's absolutely fantastic. Listen, this ties in very well with the next question, which is next programs. Have you got anything coming up? Anything that we can follow you on, or what's next? What's next?
What's next? Well, we've been a bit unsettled here. We had last week, we went back into stage 4 lockdown, and this week we're back out in stages. So it's been very difficult to plan anything, even short term, to be honest. But the thing that I'm loving is that I can do all this fashion Feng Shui that's via Zoom. So it's really easy. So I've got to get onto a newsletter thing so I can do all of that via Zoom. I've been running my workshops via Zoom. So, yeah, so I've been able to do a lot via Zoom. And as I said today, I was in real life with a client. So that was fantastic. So just sort of trying to get back on a roll, but everybody here is very cautious. Tomorrow's a bit exciting. I've got a local designer. I'm very big, as you know, on small designers and local designers. And because everything's been shut down, there's no photo shoots happening or anything like that. Anyway, so he couriered me across some clothes. So tomorrow I'm going to just do my own little photo shoot with me wearing his clothes, and then send them the photos off to him. So that'll be a little bit of fun for a Sunday. So
that's really nice.
So just some fun little things like that.
Yeah, I think we were all a little bit like this. It's the same for me. I am planning little things on Zoom and just waiting for when we go back into person. Into like actually seeing people. When we went into lockdown, which was last March for the first time in England, I was about to, on the 26th of March, I had an event planned, which obviously never happened because we went into lockdown about 10 days before or something like that. And it was a joint event with 2 other business founders, and now we've been talking about it. We've been going, shall we start planning it? And then we never know when we can.
That's the whole uncertainty. It's very, very difficult, I think, but
yeah, but we will get through it, and I think the vaccines will help, isn't it? On this note, I will ask you, have you got a quote, a motto, a very wise phrase that you want to throw at us so that we can meditate on it?
Well, it's very simple, actually, my little phrase, but it's find joy in the ordinary.
I like that.
And joy is one of my favourite words of all time. It's one of my big things, is being joyful. And I found that was something too that helped me get through. So you can find joy. I find joy in all sorts of things, like I get up early, even though we weren't allowed to do anything, and you watch the sunrise or something. There's joy in that I get a lot of joy from seeing beauty in nature and things, from playing with my puppy dog and my first sip of coffee in the morning.
Yes, the coffee is the thing.
Finding the joy in the ordinary, the coffee. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, finding joy in the ordinary. I think that's my
definitely
thing.
Listen, and if people have watched this interview and they're wondering how to get in touch, maybe they want to explore more about the way they dress, maybe they just want to check you out and look at your beautiful photos, where do they go? Give us all your contacts.
Okay, so on Instagram, I'm Air of Distinction. My website is airofdistinction.com.au, and my Facebook is Air of Distinction. So I'm just Air of Distinction everywhere. If you put in Air of Distinction, I'll pop up.
Yes, and you're really, really active on Instagram, isn't it? So people can even reach out there, because I do know that we message each other quite a lot. So I know you're always there.
Yes, I'm always on Insta.
Yeah, and we manage quite well despite the time difference. So even people who are watching from the UK or from Italy can anyway get in touch, because there is a way, despite the time difference, there is always a way to like find times where you can chat to them, etc., isn't it?
Definitely. So I might be in Australia, but there's time. The time still, there will be a time that we can work in. Tomorrow morning, I've got a Zoom call with a colleague of mine in New York. So, so there's always a time that will work for everybody. So we can certainly do that.
Exactly. Even though that time might be 7:30 in the morning, and you might look like me and she might look like this, and you might spend the whole interview thinking, oh my God, I look like a mummy and she looks amazing. But hey, but yeah, there is ways, isn't it? Listen, this takes me to the very end of this interview. I'm really sad about it, because I really, really enjoyed talking to you. And I think I really want to explore, how do you say, because in Italian we say Feng Shui, but you say it in another way, the fashion.
Feng Shui.
All right, Feng Shui. I need to learn it,
Mm.
because you say it different ways in different.
We can do that. We can do that via Zoom.
Yes, and I think I really want to explore it, because lately I am, as you say, one of those, I love it or I need it or it goes out of my wardrobe. And because I am a person that works with my heart, every 6 months stuff goes out, but there are pieces that have been with me forever, ever and ever. And as you know, I only do secondhand or upcycled, or I recycle bits. I've got some clothes from my grandmother and things like that. But lately I'm a bit out of love with 90% of my wardrobe, which has never happened to me before. So I think there is I'm a bit stuck. So I will definitely be in touch. And listen, thank you so much for being our first English-speaking guest of the Salotto. And obviously, we will be in touch. We always aim to come back to our guests a couple of months later to see how you are, if you've got any new projects, etc., etc. So we will be in touch. And in the meantime, as our guests know, there's going to be an album on our Facebook about this episode with all the photos about you, all the information. You're going to be on our Instagram TV, on our YouTube channel. Obviously, the video is going to go out on Facebook too, so they can reach you. And this is going to have all your contacts, so people can actually reach out without having to go through us. So yeah, I thank you very, very much, and we will speak to you very soon.
Thank you for having me. And I do have to say, I absolutely adore your turbans. You know how much I love them. So,
This is why we
thank you for being so clever and sharing them with the world.
Thank you so much, and I'll see you very soon.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.